Welcome to Mic Check Waifu Waifu.
Mic check, waifu, waifu. Ma, tell him. Is that you?
It is, and let's get to it.
This is episode 311 of Mic Check Waifu Waifu. As always, it's brought to you by Patreon. Patreon.com/Mic Check Waifu Waifu. It's where you can get early access to the video version of this podcast. It's where you can get access to the Patreon exclusive podcast, The After Story. It's where you can get access to the pre-show. Episode 311 pre-show goes live 2 days before this episode airs for everybody else. And trust me when I say this week's pre-show for 311 was a beautiful, brilliant, fun episode. Check that out on patreon.com/@MicCheckWaifuWaifu because we discussed changes that we're going to be making to our gaming podcast, which just aired episode 2 last week. Thank you so much for the support on that. We appreciate it. It means the world to us. But check out the pre-show. You're going to see the changes that we're going to make for the upcoming show that's coming out the day after you're hearing this episode of the podcast. We love y'all. Thank y'all so much. Mic Check Waifu Waifu couldn't be here without the Patreon producer. Shout out to the Patreon producer. Dad Needs to Talk podcast. Christian, the archivist. Fear, Cad the Pro from Chaotic Culture podcast. Explicitly, All for One Matt. Matthew, H. Monique Williams, Semi Sensei. Frozen, Rob Stone. And last, but never not least, our guy, T Money Fingers. We got a fun episode for you guys today, this week on Mic Check Waifu Waifu. I got a lot to say, and maybe it ain't gonna be a lot to say when I get to saying it, because that's normally how it goes. Still, like I start to feel like I come into this episode with a lot to say, but it don't really be as much as I thought. But I do feel like I got a lot to say.
Well, if you have a lot to say, and if you don't have much to say, I'm gonna have some stuff to say too. Mm-hmm. I got a little mini synopsis going.
Okay. I'm looking forward to it. But as we start every episode of Mic Check Waifu Waifu, what is your episode of the week this week, Till? I think I know what you're gonna pick, but
I don't think you know I'm gonna pick.
I think I do.
With You and the Rain.
Oh, okay.
Is really okay. With You and the Rain, I feel like it's just criminally good. When I say it is lo-fi the anime, I can't lie to you, brother. This anime it is the most, and there was one other I could have gone with, but it is the most like comforting show I feel like I've watched in a long time, bro.
Damn it. I forgot to watch Watari Cones. All right. Yeah. Damn it. I thought you were going to go there with this. So it kind of sucks that you didn't.
Mm-hmm. What was you going to say? Because there is another one that I was thinking.
What was that other one?
Secrets of the Sacred Witch.
Yes, I knew it. That's the one I thought you were going to say because that one deserves episode of the week this week because it was so good.
Yeah, that one was a 10 out of 10 episode. I can't lie to you.
Yeah, it had action, story, progression. Loved it. Loved everything about that episode. God, it's so hard. It's so hard because I'm doing it. Fuck it, I'm doing it. I wanted to say, and I'm cheating because this is our show. We can do whatever we want. I'm cheating.
That's true.
Wanted to say Dress Up Darling. Okay. Dress Up Darling is
a 10 out of 10 anime.
A 10 out of 10 episode this week. It was brilliant. It was perfect. I absolutely loved it. However, it's not going to get my episode of the week, even though I wanted to have my episode of the week. I can't. My episode of the week this week is the first 2 episodes of Lord of Mysteries. This show is fucking incredible. The first 2 episodes of the dub dropped. And when I'm confused on why y'all confused, but it's probably because I watched it dubbed, the full thing's dubbed, because it's so good. It's so good. And it's deep. And it's exactly what I said a few episodes ago. We don't know shit because he don't know shit. Right. Klein has been transmogrified is what the Chinese is calling it, but it's being isekai'd into a whole nother world. But in this transmogrification or isekai'd, his memories is overlapping with the original Klein. So not only does he have only half of his current memories, he only has half of Klein memories. So of course we don't know what's going on, even though he has some knowledge of what's going on in his family life and his life over there, and his life that he used to have, and his entire goal of trying to get back home. Those first 2 episodes were fucking brilliant. I thought, not only just it looks fantastic, and I knew it was going to look fantastic from the first
it's crazy
5 minutes of what I watched of the show. But when I tell you this story is so fucking captivating for me, I am enthralled with this right now, in this world and everything, bro. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. It's brilliant. I'm probably going to be the only one in the world saying that, because now that I see everybody, like when I seen everybody talking about it, it's all Lord of the Mysteries is the biggest flop, or is the blah, 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 blah.
So I'm with you. And the only reason I'm with you is because I think I watched those first 2 episodes like 3 times, bro. And it took me a while. I'm like trying to piece the parts together when it's in Mandarin.
It's
to even get it together to understand. And it's not even about it going fast, bro. They didn't say exactly what that was in Mandarin. He said he put his hand on his head, said something about something about his memories, but it wasn't like a implication that his memories were mixing or melding when it was translated. But I agree with you. I even think that past the first few episodes, it's good. You just have to, if you're not watching in dub, it felt like I had to watch it so many times to fully ascertain what the heck was happening.
And that's a shame, because watching it once in dubbed, I got everything right away. It was like,
as it should be.
That's exactly how it should be. And it was just so brilliant. I'm like, yo, what the fuck?
Yeah. Not to mention.
Oh, go ahead.
Well, go ahead.
I was about to say, it is so vastly deep so far already in just 2 episodes, in 67 minutes or however long these episodes are together. It is so vastly deep that I'm excited to see what is about to happen.
The conversation he had with the 2 at the table, I was like, I remember seeing that, and like I said, I watched it in Mandarin. I'm excited that you said something about the dub, because I was gonna wait. I knew you watched it in dub,
and the dub is really good.
I was gonna wait until I was like, let me see what Polo say. I was like, that was so interesting. That was like, it felt like almost like a mystery game. Like he was unsure of what his place was, but had to still like have this air of dominance or divinity from what it appeared to be while it was in Mandarin.
He did great at establishing or understanding the perspective in which he was in, and what the people that was brought in was in. So having the thought to think of the perspective of the other people, to know that they don't know what's going on, and to them they're looking up while he's looking down, that must mean et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not going to go too much into it because it's rather deep, but it is spectacular, man. It is spectacular. And then I love already the power system. And the power system is so simple yet deep at the same time. And it became deep when they showed the conversation between him and Professor Neo. And they were discussing... No, because do I want to say that because it's spoilers? I guess it's episode 2, so spoilers for episode 2 of Lord of Mysteries dub. But they were discussing how the king was transmogrified, and he wrote this diary down, and they've been trying to crack it and they couldn't figure it out, but they only figured out the numbers, which happens to be the date. He read it because he's from China, and he was able to read it, and what he read was so important to the overarching power system that it is, that it left me so excited, because starting from grade 9 potions, grade 9, obviously, because they mentioned this at the very beginning of it. And again, I can understand why watching it in fucking Mandarin, you'll be so confused. But because I was very confused, because the very beginning of Lord of Mysteries, it talks about the power system and the different branches and the grades or whatever. But in English, it was broken down so clearly. So the grade 9 is being like the lowest level of this potion. And then when they talk about, it's all about the digestion. It's like all about how you digest the potion, which means that once you digest that grade 9, you can then grow up to grade 8. And then once you digest grade 8, you go up to grade 7. And then it's only like fucking, it's so crazy. It's so deep. I love it. I love it. I love it. I can't stop gushing about how good these 2 episodes was. Now, it was only the first 2.
That's beautiful.
It could fall completely off. I don't know, because I don't know. We're 6 episodes deep.
But I'm gonna say, from what I remember, because I think I watched for the first 4 episodes in Mandarin, I thought it was still interesting. It's just I couldn't
understand
fully grasp what the heck was happening. Like, I was told what was happening. I understood what I was told, but I still feel like there's things I'm missing based off what I was told. You know what I mean?
Right. And I think that's partially because of the translation. I don't know it to be anything else other than Crunchyroll being cheap, but I digress. Sorry about that. All right. Now let me get to something.
Before you say that.
Yeah.
We have to review an anime halfway through this season.
Thank you for bringing that up. Halfway through this season. So there's going to be a thread in our Discord, discord.mycheckwaifu.com. Actually, the payment for that is coming up, which is, I hate it every year, every 2 years, but I digress. Discord.mycheckwaifu.com. We are going to have a thread on suggestions for what you want us to review. So join our Discord, leave suggestions on what you want us to review. Preferably 12 episodes if you can, because we have to do this throughout the week while trying to keep up with all our current anime. It could be a show that you've already watched or a show that you have on your list that you plan on watching and you wanted to watch with us and join us for the review. So there's a whole thread on reviews and how they work over in My Check Waifu Discord. Check all that out. It's a very, very special review scale system. It's awesome. Our reviews are special. We are very, very, very proud of them. Like, very, very proud of our reviews. So make sure you leave your suggestion on what you want us to review for this mid-season coming up here in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking forward to that. Thank you, Tel. I appreciate that. Now, on to what I want to discuss. What I want to discuss, Tel, is a show that I talked about being excited for at the very beginning of this season. What was one of my top 3 shows that I was excited to see this season? Do you remember?
On your top 3 shows that you were excited to see this season, is it the Campfire?
No, top 3 shows I was excited to see, like our most anticipated. I'm sorry. And you could use the notes, you could cheat, because this is important. I'm gonna let this pain ride.
Apocalypse Bringer. Nope, not that one. That wasn't one.
It's our most anticipated, so it's the shows we already knew about.
Couple of Cuckoos, Rising Shield Hero, Reincarnated 7 Prince, Dr. Stone, Called Night.
That was you.
That was the most anticipated. What was it? Lord of Mysteries was one of them. Mother's of Darling. That's all I got, bro.
Kaiju number 8.
Oh,
I was so excited about Kaiju number 8. That was one of my most anticipated shows. And the reason being, hear me out, because I enjoyed season 1. I really did enjoy season 1. The problem I had, the one issue I had with season 1 of Kaiju number 8 was the fact that he had to hide himself being a kaiju. I get it. He had to hide himself being a kaiju because kaijus are really bad in this world, especially if you're the version of kaiju that he is. My problem with this episode is that now he's known. He's ready to rock the fuck out, and they won't let him rock the fuck out. Why did I spend an entire first season of him not turning into a kaiju for him to get to the second season to be known, and he's allowed to turn into a kaiju for him not to be able to turn into a kaiju? That is so frustrating, Montel, that why the fuck does this show get in its own way? I put on the antagonist music because it pissed me off so bad that I was so angry I was hitting my fucking desk. I'm like, why the fuck won't they let him rock? Let him rock and let us enjoy the show. I don't care if this was like, this can be the most mindless shonen ever, and I will be okay with it. They can't let Kafka rock for whatever reason. It has to be an excuse as to why he can't transform and why he just can't show the fuck out. And it's because they want him to have this, oh shit, I'm going to save everyone moment. And that is so frustrating within this show because it doesn't have to be. Just let him fight and get his ass kicked as Kaiju number 8. That's okay. Let him have to understand his powers. Let him have to learn his powers. Don't stop him from using his powers, because we know once he don't use his powers, he's fucking useless. And that is so frustrating. It's so frustrating. Get out your own way. Let us enjoy the show for what it is. I mean, and it was cool to see the other people do their things, but that's not what that's not what we watch the show for.
That's not what we here for.
We here for the Kaiju to fucking beat some Kaiju ass. You know what I'm saying?
And the so wild thing is that it's a very shonen anime, right?
Very shonen.
But the issue is that I was with Kaiju number 8. I was with this episode. I was like, this is a pretty good episode. And then they did that shit with Kafka that you literally talking about. And I was like, oh my God.
Yeah, get out of the way, bro. Just like,
I was ready to turn it off. And I'm going to be honest with you, I completely forgot I watched it, to the point to where I turned the episode back on. And it would have come out on Saturday, right? I turned the episode back on and said, did I watch this? I did.
The day before we were recording this podcast.
It was so bad. And I'm not saying it was, parts of it were good, but the parts that were good, they were really only okay. They're really only okay. We're seeing the development of the characters that are side characters and some new characters, but that's not what we here for. Like Polo said, we here for Kafka to pop off, and he did all of that last season, and we felt like it got out of its own way. To get back here, where he's literally back eating his own, and I'm not like an Ouroboros, he's not there, but he's eating his own tail. It's not good. It's not like he basically reverted back to a baby is what it feels like. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like you had that development to revert back to a baby, back to an egg, and now what are we gonna do? We're gonna develop all over again this whole season. That is literally a restart. That's a restart, bro. It made me want to not watch this again. I'm not going to lie to you.
It's true. It turned into this predictable motif of him coming to save the day at the very last minute when Captain's probably about to get his ass killed or something. Somebody's about to get murdered, and he's going to last minute finally be able to transform and save the day. But that's so boring. That's so atypical, be usual that it frustrates me, because we could just watch him fight and then not understand how to fight because he can't fight until he goes through a training arc or something like that. Make it more predictable in the sense of as predictable as fuck, so we can actually see him be a kaiju and kick ass. That's what I care about most, because seeing him and just get thrown around all the time, it's just not fun. It's just not a fun watch. Again, it was cool to see the other people pop off. I still think their power system is stupid. Like, it's however much they can utilize these suits. I think it's the dumbest shit. But, you know, whatever. I'm just here to watch kaijus fight. And I can't do it.
You would think that with his ability, he would be able to tap into the suit even more, because he literally has his own technical suit. On top of the suit that you give him, he should literally be a demon and doing everything that we need him to do. Like, he fully converted basically and did nothing. And that felt like I wasted my time. And what Polo has said before is that there are shows that respect your time, and I feel like it did not respect my time.
Dude, I waited a whole season for the world to know that he's a kaiju, for him to turn into a kaiju this season. That's why I was so excited about it. That's why I was my most anticipated.
Yeah, because I thought we was getting to it now. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean?
The show was finally starting, I thought.
And we back to square one. Yep. Now, to kind of continue on Polo's antagonist moment, I kind of had this idea with what I call the Shonen Trap. And I had this idea because this season I said specifically I'm going to watch some shonen that I would not normally watch. Now,
we got quite a few this season.
Quite a few. And I'm watching, I think, like Polo, I don't think he watched Gachiakuta this week. Or even Tougen Anki, right? But I have Amio Kaiten Rebirth Verse, which is a shonen about essentially a exorcist, or a guy who becomes an exorcist, and he's basically experiencing what Subaru experiences in ReZero. But not to the same extent. It's not as good as what Subaru experiences, sadly. Then I have Tougen Anki and Gachiakuta, right? Yeah. And here's what I have to say about that, right? The Shonen Trap tends to be a couple of different things. And sadly, I even have to add, like, now, Fire Force to this list. where you kind of either do things like where the plot gets lost. The plot gets lost for unnecessary reasons. The comedy, the show starts to take itself so unseriously that it actually like it devolves the aspect or ideas that you were trying to deliver in the first place. And then you have this like, and this goes off of what Polo was saying, you have this kind of like reversion where you did develop and then you didn't.
Where's my tell 'em button?
And it takes it all back, right? And literally, these are things that happened in all three of the anime that we just talked about.
Yes.
Or all the anime we just talked about.
Jesus, bro, you be spitting.
So this and I call this the Shonen Trap because the thing is that these had, and I'm gonna say this for me, while I did not like Tougen Anki, right? If Tougen Anki did not do what it did this week, fucking I missed it. God damn it. With this very same aspect that Polo was just talking about, sadly, in Kaiju number 8, it would have been a better episode. Because I actually think it had the better episode than Gachiakuta this week, right? Even though I like Gachiakuta's feel, look, everything better, it had the better episode in general. It seemed like it was more progression. We got more characters that actually seemed somewhat interesting, and the power system seemed to like showcase itself in this way, right? It gave us things that were interesting, and the funny points, they didn't linger too long. It felt like how Fire Force had their funny points in season 1, but it kept the progression going. It felt like everything I hated about the previous episode disappeared, and we got this episode. But then you get the Kaiju number 8 session where it's like, okay, so I can't use my powers. And I hate to say that's a slight spoiler, but the episode wasn't all bad. It literally had the better episode, I would say, of all three of those this week, right? Which is wild. Which is crazy, wild. Then you have like Gachiakuta, where it fell into the Shonen Trap where there is too many funny moments. We have this really cool concept where basically this is what the power system is. I'm just going to tell you, and slight spoilers, but it's not very far into the anime. The power system is that you become the item that you put the most care and love into is what grants you your power. So his gloves develop his power. He meets someone who has a stick. It's a regular looking stick. But because of the time and care he's put into having this stick all his life, it becomes a staff that can split the ground and whatnot, right? But I think it's kind of cool. I'm like, okay, so it's based off of what people put care and love into, right? And we find out that the MC basically, with his gloves, anything he touches becomes his weapon. Anything. He just because of what he touches, he just touches anything. You want to know what happens? You want to know what happens for 5 to 7 minutes of the show? He picks up a plunger full of shit, and he's chasing around one of his allies who's supposed to be training him with the plunger full of poop. And is this what this show? Gachiakuta would have been 10 times better if it was a show that took itself too serious. And it wouldn't have, because the problem with Gachiakuta, and TCB said this, shout out to TCB. Go ahead. Is that it holds your fucking hand throughout the entire thing. The entire thing you're watching it. The fact that you told me about the power system, I already knew, because they mentioned that in episode 2 about how much he loves trash, and because it gets a soul. Everything you treat with love, it gets a soul, and blah 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 blah. It's so tacky and handholdy and just dry that I think, and this is, and I meant to say this when you mentioned it a few lines back, but you said you like the style of it. This style is definitely your style, like the art style and the way the way everything is drawn. I hate the way it looks. I don't like that art style at all. It's almost World Trigger-y, but World Trigger looks fire. Like it's intentional. I love World Trigger. Yeah, World Trigger to me is it leans into it more, which looks so stylized, and I love that. This is like an in-between of regular anime and that stylized World Trigger look that just don't work for me.
this character is all of them except for Kaiju number 8. Main characters stink.
And just to add to that, right? Why does and this is the shonen trap I'm talking about. And not to be too negative on this, because I am going to switch something positive in a second. The shonen trap in Gachiakuta, why does he have the same issue that Shinra has, where he can't smile? Or not even can't smile. When he can't smile properly. But when he smiles, he makes this face that makes him look upset or angry or whatever, right? Because he can't properly form a smile because he doesn't do it. And like I said, and I still think that if the show had taken itself more seriously, it would be better. With that. But that's where I say, like, for instance, the next part of this topic I wanted to have was the breaking free.
Okay. The
breaking free is shows like that we have this season, like Secret of the Silent Witch. I think Clevatass is a fucking gem this season, bro. I love Clevatass. I think like With You in the Rain is another gem that I don't know if you watched it, Polo, but man, I watched episode 1.
Yeah.
I want to get your idea on that in a minute, but the breaking free aspect of that is like, I know we've watched so much anime, but man, when I tell you, when you just step outside that just straight up shonen genre, bro, it does feel a little freeing, man. The Secret of Silent Witch, we talked about it earlier. It was worthy of episode of the week. That whole anime, from the characters you have, the characters individually are great, but you put them together as different composite pieces in this composition, they are amazing. They literally paint the picture of what you're supposed to be getting in the show, and they're amazing.
To speak on Silent Witch before you move on, though, is I'm gonna say this: if you haven't watched it yet, please watch Silent Witch. But my recommendation, and here at My Check Waifu, we're not sub elitists. We don't give a fuck if you watch subbed or dubbed. But I will say, if you try to watch Silent Witch in dubbed, you won't like it as much as you do in sub. So hear me out when I say that. It's for a reason I'm saying that, because I tried the dub multiple times and it just ruins the entire impact of the show. And what I mean by that is the main character. The main character is timid and standoffish, and that comes off in sub. It doesn't come off in dub. She just feels kind of normal, like a normal pro tag, and it doesn't fit what this show is about. So watch it sub. Sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. But then you have, like I said, Clevatass this season.
10 out of 10
to me, But part of it that makes it so crazy for Clevatass is, like I said, we're breaking free. It's a different perspective. The internal monologues. We are a huge fan of internal monologues.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about this most recent episode when, diving under the water.
It's that whole
thought process, everything about that, the heaviness, the show, not even talking about the moment, but the actual show feels heavy.
Mm-hmm. But
it's a nice, like, it's almost so engaging. It's almost too engaging when you're watching the show. Yeah. And it's just crazy that we have some shows like this season that are literally falling into that shonen trap. But then you have those shows this season that I swear I wish I could recommend them more. I can recommend them more, but I can't recommend them enough.
Yeah.
Man, bro.
It's so captive. Dude, I'm sorry to go back to Clevatass. It's so different than anything. I think what you said last week was the perfect description. It's like a Claymore mixed with Monster. And it just works, bro. It works so extremely well. Again, and it goes to show that you don't need to do stuff for the sake of it. Everything has a purpose. Everything has a meaning. Unfortunately, one of the shows that I thought was going to be what we thought as a community, maybe our community still feels like it, but Tacto-P's original Sin, like, we thought that was going to be a little bit more unique, and it is unique in a sense, but it's just for the sake of, it's not great. At least I feel that way. I'm sorry to speak for Tail. I think it's bad personally, Polo.
I decided I'm not gonna finish it until all of it is out. I think, which is next week, right?
Yeah.
That's the last episode,
Yeah.
and then I'm gonna binge it, and
Where
then
are
I'm
you
gonna
at?
get my full thoughts on it. I only watched the first two.
Oh.
No, first three.
Oh.
I watched the first three.
Yeah, it only gets worse from there. But sorry. I said that to say I had a point that I was making with that. Is that it can
For the sake of.
Oh yeah, for the sake of. And I think what the problem with the Shonen Trap is that they're too scared to break out of that mode of either being too handholdy, Gachiakuta, where they got to walk you through the world, where they got to explain the lore to people having conversations that should already know the lore of the world, and Tougen Anki would just have just a main character that is intolerable for some reason, and then Kaiju number 8, where they just have to revert for plot armor's sake, or what's another term for it? For the I gotta be the hero at the last minute sakes. And it's just it's so nice that this season we have a nice balance between those three atypical B-usuals, and then we got Lord of the Mysteries, we got Clevatass, we got I'm gonna be honest, even and the show isn't, again, I wouldn't recommend it to everybody, and it doesn't look the best, but New Saga, like I like what that's doing, and I find that to be more entertaining than I do these other shonen that's supposed to be all about entertainment, the action, the hands, the fun. It's a great season, to be honest.
It is, and I'm not gonna, and I don't mean to say that the Shonen Trap is like this all-encompassing bad thing, right?
I mean,
it's just it's so predictable.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
Even with that, because I've like resolved myself to watch them regardless, I do see good things in them. Like I said, I think Tougen Anki had the best of like these shonen tropey anime. I had the best episode. The Amio Rebirth verse anime, like the last like 5 minutes of it was a all like singing scene where we were getting this resolution, and I'm like, it's not like that. And then boom, we're back to square one because death. You know what I mean? But it's not even like they provide this gravity to like how even like Subaru dies in ReZero. It's not the same gravity to it yet.
No way.
And it might be later, but it's just not there right now. And that's what I'm saying is like sometimes because it's shonen, it doesn't take itself serious enough because it's shonen. I get it. But then you have other pitfalls and traps they fall into. But it's just like, man, it's so good also to see Secrets of the Silent Witch, Clevatass, Lord of Mysteries, and other shows this season that just are not hitting those same pitfalls.
Yeah. I'm still curious about Tougen Anki because, again, I can't stress enough. It's still not good, but it is like, for as far as my interest level, I'm more interested in that than the others outside of Kaiju number 8, but than the others because of this is more of a story I can deal with, because it's a revenge tale, and revenge tales are some of my favorite things in anime, to be honest, when they're done right. But yeah, I am still interested to keep up with that. I do want to still keep up with Gachiakuta, but after I think what you just told me, I don't think I will. I think because I can't spend 24 episodes on 2 shonens this season. I just can't do it.
It was a solid 5 to like 7 minutes of poop flinging like they were monkeys in the zoo, bro.
Yeah, I can't do that. There's so much other stuff I could be doing, like, I don't know, prepping for Respect Gaming or something like that I would not.
Crazy.
I would not. You want to know? And sorry to just fucking do a 180, but that's why I love Mike Check, because it's a conversational podcast. You know what I find very interesting this week, or last week, I should say?
What was that, brother?
The fact that for the first time ever in Mike Check Waifu anime podcast history, Tail was the villain. Tail is never the villain in this podcast. He was actually the villain last week.
That show was trash, bro. I'm sorry. And it's not trash. It's not trash. It's not for me.
Yeah,
and I actually meant to watch this episode because I'm gonna keep up with it. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna keep up with it because y'all are my community. I love my brother, and I love y'all because y'all rock with us. So yeah. I plan on continuing to watch it anyway.
It was so good.
But
it was a good week.
I was like, I can't.
I ain't never seen that before in my life. In 6 years we've been doing this.
It's like, everybody got a gun to my head.
Except for Fear. Fear was like, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it, but when Fear watch it, he will like it. Like I think I've known Fear long enough, or he's been a part of this community long enough to know he'll like this one too. And it goes to show what you said last week too, though. Is you never liked Cinderella anyway.
Yeah, and I also think what's funny is that I feel like in the way, let's say I had watched this before Polo and Polo had never watched it, right? I almost feel like when I had described it, or if I describe it, Polo would be like, oh, hell yeah, I want to watch that.
No, I wouldn't have wanted to watch it the way you described
really?
it. Yeah, because
I feel like the story would have been something that Polo would have wanted to watch.
The reason why you say you didn't like it, I understand why you say you didn't like it because of the way you explained it. But the way you explained it was, I don't want to say wrong because it was your opinion, but it wasn't full.
There are details in it that you would prefer,
yes,
or that would have left a bigger or grander picture.
Yes, it wasn't. It just wasn't full. Exactly. Yeah. So I would, because everything that you said during the time you were saying it was nothing like wrong if you haven't watched it. Like if you haven't watched it, you'd be like, oh, why would I want to watch that? But
right.
Yeah. So it's not saying you were wrong about it at all. I will say this though. That the depth of a show that we're going to watch, which is Rascal Does Not Dream of Santa Claus. The first dubbed episode dropped. I didn't watch it yet, but that's probably going to kind of like truncate a lot of these shows, these romantic shows that I'm watching this season, because that series is just so good and deep, and the characters are so lovable that I don't know. My whole opinion might change, but it can't. Marie is just the best girl this season by a lot, by a significant margin, for sure.
Speaking of best girl,
what?
My question for you is, I wanted to get your outlook on episode 1 of With You in the Rain.
Okay, she's a great girl, very, very third in the list. I only watched one episode because they only had one episode of the dubbed. For one, this dub lady who's voice acting her, she's so good. She's been in a lot of stuff.
I gotta check it out.
She's very, very, very good. I can see what you're saying, but just after one, it's just not much there.
Right.
And I don't know if I'm that intrigued yet or interested. Because ain't shit happened. Literally nothing happened.
Yeah, but that's the thing, is that I don't think it's that kind of anime. And right?
I agree. And I don't know if I would have time if it wasn't dubbed.
Yeah, I feel like nothing is going to happen. And that's not true, because something kind of happened. But I think that, and this is what I said, and this is what I believe was also said by others. I gotta look at the
she's beautiful though. She's absolutely beautiful.
Easily. I agree with that. But what I feel is that there was this like underlying emotion in the beginning with how she with things that she said, you know what I mean? And I don't know how it was translated in the dub.
Yeah, no, you could tell she's had it's some deeper internal stuff,
emotional,
that she's working through.
And I think that in this most recent episode, because where we at, episode 4, right? Because last week I think was the first time I watched it, and it was 3 episodes, and I watched all 3, and that's why I was like kind of all for it, because I had 3 episodes to watch. I watched all 3 back to back, and I think that nothing necessarily happens, but you'll see little things, details that will clue you into her personality, why she is the way she is, why she is alone in a sense and stuff like that.
Let me say this before you get too deep in it, because I don't want you to influence what I think. What I think is that she's obviously has something deeper, but I think it wasn't her that found Kimmy. It was Kimmy that found her. And I think that's the moral of where this story is going to go. There's a reason why Kimmy found her is because she's dealing with something mentally, either in the background or in the foreground when it comes to her writing or whatever the case may be. She's dealing with something internally, emotionally, something that we don't know yet that I find interesting. But it was hard for me I guess the word I'm trying to look for is I wasn't captivated yet. And maybe if I had 3, I will be, because 2 of the dub came out. So I'm gonna watch that next week. And actually 3 is gonna be out by that time. So I'm gonna watch the next 2 and see where I am. But it was cute though. It was silly. The Tanuki being like, "Oh no, I'm a dog. Oh, I'm a cat. I'm a cat. No, I'm a dog." It was cute. It was adorable. A lot of cuteness in there, and it was very chill. Like
it was, and I'm telling you, that's how I felt about it. I felt like it was lo-fi to anime. Like I turned it on.
I get that.
And 100% though, like I say this, like I'm engaged in watching it, but man, I'm telling you, if I could just, and I don't, if I had like a little drink, like I said, I don't drink alcohol, but if I had a little shot glass with me or something like that, a little old fashioned or something like that, man, I'd chill, turn on some music while watching it, even though it's got music playing, and be like, this is a good time.
Yeah,
that's what it feels like.
I get that. Yeah,
definitely feels that way for me.
For sure.
So that's why I know I have this like tiredness to it. But then this most recent episode just felt like I can't really explain it too much. You ain't seen it, but it just felt like there's this there's more to it, and a continuation of that. For sure.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It wasn't too bad. I'm into it. Moving on. Anything else?
Nothing. What do we want to talk about on spoilers, brother?
Great question. It's my turn to read the question and get to know, so I'll get that put up. But yeah, what do we want to spoil this week? La-di-da-di.
Who likes to party?
No.
Let me see.
Oh God, there's so much that we could.
We
talk
got.
About. Oh, I didn't get my weekly update on Apocalypse Springer.
That's true.
Let me just say this. I did love the way they explained how bandits work in the world. It's just like when civilization, when a bandit camp spawn next to your civilization and you got to go take it out. And that was pretty cool. So if you're still watching Apocalypse Springer, again, one of my favorite shows this season, only because of the world conquest video game nature of it all. I'm looking forward to seeing the outcome of what happened next week. So
yeah, that was a little intense. I ain't gonna lie to you. But I saw it coming. I was
of
like,
course,
come on, bro.
Me too.
And it was like, it was so obvious what the knight was doing. It felt to me, it felt obvious. He was like,
he knew what's up.
But you, yo, stupid self,
goody two shoes ass,
man, you messing up the flow.
Let's do. You still watching the April showers?
Yes.
I don't want to do that. I just was asking, make sure you watched it. Okay.
Of course.
We could do My Dress Up Darling.
We can definitely do My Dress Up Darling. So let's go with that one.
Okay.
Also, Solo Camping for 2 was almost everything I wanted this week. It was significantly better with almost none of the irritation of
was
how
the girl
she used
still
to
in
act.
it?
Yeah, but listen. It was nothing like she was before, bro. It was a complete 180. She turned around.
You want to know why that don't matter?
Go ahead.
Because she ain't supposed to be there in the first fucking place. That alone.
True. That's not true.
That is true, bro.
And I say that, hear me out. Oh, now we done added a whole nother little tab to the notes here. Our guy. Slight spoilers, but this is whatever. I don't know if y'all watching it in the first place. Solo Camper for 2. Our guy, he sees her in the mall and she is with her friends. She sees him in the mall. She goes to talk to him and he's like shopping for stuff. She talks to him and he's like, "Oh, what's going on?" And starts sharing information on the different equipment she should get, giving her information about tents and whatnot. The conversation is completely amicable. She's with her girlfriends. Her girlfriend's like, "Oh, the way y'all talk is very like comfortable. Like, are y'all together, flirting? That kind of stuff is what it looks like to them." But between them two, they're having a great conversation, and to me, it felt like the most proper conversation that this show should have had when they engaged in the first place, right? Then he kind of takes his role of like, I have to take responsibility for you, blah blah blah, and I'm like, I get it. You don't have to,
No,
but the way, but yeah, you don't have to. But the way in which he does it was very endearing, and he gets her to the point to where she actually is confident enough to where, like, no matter what he said, he could have gone the other side of the forest or woods or whatever, and she was like, "That's just what I got to deal with." But he chose to not leave and go too far, and still, you know, have this kind of like solo camping, but still close in proximity kind of experience with her, and it just was so much better. It literally felt so much better than the previous episodes. I'm not saying it was perfect, but it was a progression in the manner in which that this is what we needed.
It was a progression into the circumstances in which we started. I get it. It progressed the circumstances, but the circumstances shouldn't be what they was in the first fucking place. That's what my initial reasoning behind not watching it and not caring about any of that. Like, it's just they shouldn't have been talking in the first place. She shouldn't have been there. It was all of that. Oh, whatever. Did you watch Dealing with the Makino Sisters yet? You need to watch that. That's just good. That's just so good. One of the best.
I ain't even got that. I got it. I meant to binge it.
Is he the best main male character? I think he might be.
Really?
Yeah, I think for all that matters, I think he might be my favorite male character. Obviously, that's not. Yeah, new show. Yeah, I think he is. Yeah. Yeah, it's Marie, female, and then what's the male character name? You. This is a good one. Fear's ready to pick it up and read it. He's enjoying it that much. It's so good. It's way better than I thought it was going to be because of the dynamic and it's like it gives you that dynamic to where we all the dynamic we love is stuff like quintessential quintuplets or a couple of cuckoos.
Oh, so if it's that good, then you ain't gotta say nothing else. It's getting watched.
Yeah,
I've been putting it off because I'm like, I don't know how engaged I'm gonna be in it. But if it's like that quintessential quintuplets, I was just talking about that with somebody, telling them they should watch quintessential quintuplets.
It's so good. Quintessential quintuplets is so good. No, it's that. It's good. And it's just because it's the main character. He's just amazing. He's top tier. All right. Spoilers. I really ain't got much, man. We could do Demon Hunter.
Yeah, we can do Demon Hunter.
What did Demon Hunter have this week though? Not much.
It wasn't a huge thing. I'm thinking
To Be Hero X didn't have much either.
Yeah, it really could just be that. To Be Hero X did have some stuff we could talk about, and I do actually. Let's talk about To Be Hero X, and I only want to say that because I did say something about me rolling my eyes at To Be Hero X this week.
Okay, I definitely got to hear about that. That's for damn sure.
Yeah, and that could be it. That could be it.
Let's do it. To Be Hero X, My Dress Up Darling.
Yeah.
We'll be right back after these.
Hold up. Don't do that yet.
I'm stupid. Let's get to know my check wife. This is part of the podcast where one of us rolls a random number generator. The other reads the question associated with that number. It's my turn to read the question. Tell turn to roll a random number generator.
I got the number 33. I don't even know if that number there.
33 is, what is your favorite anime from the 90s? It's easy for me.
Which one is it?
Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost in the Shell. Is Ghost in the Shell really from the 90s? Yeah, it is. Let's see.
And it's only because of nostalgic purposes. Like, it was like one of the first anime I was into.
So, all right. And this is technically the same kind of thing, nostalgia. Pokemon.
Yeah, of course. So influential for you. Yeah.
It was 100%.
That's a one. All right. Now, we'll be right back after these messages. And welcome back to episode 311 of My Check Waifu. We're going to spoil 2B Hero X. Been a minute since we talked about 2B Hero X. This is episode 17 of 2B Hero X. What you got? Why'd you almost roll your eyes?
I didn't almost roll my eyes. I did roll my eyes.
Oh, you did roll your eyes. Yeah, why'd you do that?
Yeah. Because it was a big eye roll too. I was like, oh my God.
I think I know why.
It was the fact that Big Johnny is an alien, right? Now we obviously knew that he was different, but I was hoping, and this is what I was hoping initially, right? I was hoping that Big Johnny was like a manifestation of, like Lil Johnny's power.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I'm thinking the whole time, like, that would be cool because it shows another extent of what the powers can do. But seeing that it's an alien, I was like, oh, okay, so we really are doing this alien thing. Which, granted, it doesn't just like derail or necessarily hurt the show because they're not doing it in a way in which like it has fully taken over. But I could see very easily how this alien aspect could completely take over the show and be like, man, I don't think I want to watch it no more.
I do know what I remember. Rob Stone, shout out to Rob Stone, giving us that synopsis on, the mistranslation I got from, or the misunderstanding I got from Fear not being the alien group. I still think it is. Like, regardless of, I still think it's a part of it being from outer space somehow, and that material that obviously hit Ghostblade, my favorite superhero in this entire series, last week. I still think it is from the aliens. So that point remained the same with what I said a few weeks back about that. It stinks. It's a poor idea of displacing what fear is. If it ain't, I'll be wrong, but I do think it is, unfortunately.
And what the other thing that I will say I actually enjoyed about it though was the aspect of the continuation of the belief system. Yeah, right? Yeah. And I did say that I really thought it was cool that they finally kind of confirmed the self-belief thing. And I think that's why we had the ex who was in like a white suit and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And like nobody knew who he was because you didn't need to. You know what I mean? He just needed the people who knew him to know who he was, and then for him to believe that he was who he said he was. God,
if it's just based off of that, it'd be just so cool. I'm praying that I'm wrong about Fear being just an alien goop.
I hope so too. I ain't gonna lie to you, but I was like, man, they finally said it. You know what I mean? And I liked the way they did it because Johnny's dad is down on himself, and he's like, I don't want to be a hero more or less anymore because I've fallen in the ranks, and who even knows me anymore, right? And he's like, oh, people still know you, obviously. They're just going to know him. He's still going to be very powerful.
Yeah, he was X.
But the issue is not that he's going to be very powerful, it's that he doesn't believe in himself, right? So he said, how could I do anything if I don't believe in myself? And that was like the confirmation to the self-belief system, so to speak. And then we get him put in a body bag by what they try and almost allude to that it was Vortex, but it's clearly your boy.
No, they didn't. I don't think the goal was to allude that he was Vortex. It was for Johnny to think it was Vortex. But
yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, that's what I mean. Because
they show Ghostblade kill our guy 3 episodes ago, like at the start of the whole Ghostblade saga. They show him kill him. We thought the guy he was killing was evil, but it was actually Johnny's dad. So the way they do the story is so clean. Like, you can never, no matter how this ends up, the way they tell the story is so cool and unique and just fun to experience it, because it brings that water cooler moment that we just love to have on this particular podcast about the show week to week. I think the show is best week to week. I don't like watching it. Binge is probably going to be cool too, but week to week is so fun because of the conversation. I guess it's only fun because you got to have a community like ours, I guess.
Yeah, that's true. Book club.
Yeah, book club type of anime. So, but yeah, I'm so we remember we saw Big Johnny at the end of what arc was that? I forget what arc that was.
The Queen.
Wait, was that Queen?
Yeah,
and that was Big Johnny, but didn't Yeah, because they didn't go. They did the girls trip between her and Lucky Cyan. Yeah, so it's all starting to come together. We only got a few more episodes. What did you think? What did you think about that whole God comment though that Vortex made?
I don't. The thing is that so I'm
like, wait, what did he say? And I had to rewind it to make sure I heard.
Well, it's like it'll be the last time that anybody will have the power of like God or surpass, know that. And I think that comes with the idea of like. So I think that's a couple things, right? And I think that's the idea of one that the power system like that insinuates that if the community believes you're God, you're going to be God. You know what I mean? It's a belief system.
Yeah.
And it's just like how essentially, even in the real world, if people say Jesus is God, I mean, that for you, that's going to be 100% it. But I can't change your mind on that. And that's essentially what it's going to be. But an actual manifestation of that is that if they say X is what he says he is, then no one's going to be able to deter that.
Yeah. And
I think that is the whole point in them introducing the like alien goop or whatever, is to introduce. They kind of said something about it before. They said something about it before where like they can create something to get rid of the belief system and kind of dial it back, because being omnipotent would be ridiculous. But I actually think that in the end they're going to show that that's not a thing. Now I will also say this. I mean, what did you think about the God statement?
It's you hit the nail right on the head. Same thing. I just feel like it was like these particular top heroes at this particular moment were too powerful, and they had to limit that because of it could become something way worse than what they initially have. So I don't know. It was like seeing the establishment of you ever seen The Boys?
Yep.
It was like seeing the establishment of heroes joining that world, but in a more subdued way. While The Boys is a lot more violent. That's talk about it for the sake of Ash show, but yeah, that almost there.
I would also like to say that it also makes sense why some heroes have such heavy burdens alongside their powers. You know what I mean? Now, it makes sense why the firefighter couldn't kneel because they had to have like a huge drawback for him. Or it makes sense why, why there had to be so much burden on them. Why? What was his name? Lin Ling? Not Lin Ling. Was he the first one?
Yeah.
Lin Ling, why he had to literally break the idea of him being nice. God, I can't even remember his name. Nice. Yeah, why he had to break the idea of being nice to becoming something entirely different to even get to the point where he was strong enough to beat someone. You know what I mean?
So am I misremembering this? And again, y'all can write in and let us know because I know y'all will. The whole Ling Ling thing, he pitched the 2B Hero X concept, right? So is he like the creator of the 2B Hero X thing?
He pitched the X thing.
Yeah, okay. So I do remember that correctly. That's so cool. That's just so fucking cool that's the very first episode we see.
Yeah.
And the dude was like, nah. He just kind of waved it off and ended up becoming a major part of this world.
Right. It is a crazy thing. And I hope we even get back to see him at some point, but it would even, and I wouldn't be surprised if we are seeing him still and just not knowing it. But
touche.
What I will say, I have a fear for this show.
Yeah, me too.
And my fear for it is the second season specifically.
Oh, there's a second season?
Supposedly there's going to be a second season, and the second season is depending on how well this first season does. I read this in our Discord somewhere, but basically what the statement was that if the second season does well, they're going to have a poll where you decide the outcome of the second season.
Yeah. Ugh.
So I wasn't dreaming when I saw that.
Yep.
I kind of hate that.
Me too.
And I only kind of hate that because I would like for the writer's story to just stay what they want it to be.
Yeah. I hate the fact they're even considering a second.
While I love fans, right? I don't think I have, while I think that I have great ideas for the ending of shows, I don't think I have the best ideas for the ending of shows. I am not specifically a show script writer. You know what I mean? Yeah. Am I here to dissect it and understand? Have I seen 1,000 different show endings? Yes. Does that mean that I can tell you what a good ending and write it is? No, I can't write it. I can probably tell you, man, that was a great ending. I feel satisfied at it. I can probably even tell you what I might feel satisfied watching. You know what I mean? Yep. But that does not mean I know how to actually write it down, articulate it, and say, boom, this is how you deliver it. This is the mechanism to make sure that the show is good. And I feel like as fans, we know what we want, but we don't. Sometimes we don't actually need that for a show to end properly.
I would write so much trash, and it wouldn't be on purpose, right? It'd just be because I don't have the talent to, like, they get paid to do that for a reason, right? I don't get paid to do that because I don't do that. So yeah, leave it to what you want. Like, just keep what you're doing. You, as an artist, what you've doing has worked and it's been fantastic so far. Now this could all go downhill. It's still time for it to go downhill. I'm scared. It's making me nervous where we're going, because it isn't. I'm not saying it's plateauing at its greatness, right?
Yeah,
with a little bit of dip.
It's like a 8 now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like plateauing with a little bit of dip. So the 10 to 8 range is right where it is, and I couldn't agree more. But I'm having faith that it's going to go back up to be like a 9.5 type of deal. You know what I mean? That's what I'm hoping. But again, it feels like, and this is just me being honest, Till, it feels like you started to run out of ideas after the web was woven. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so slowly starting to get like a little bit discombobulated, or tripping over itself, I should say.
100% of what I think it is that the clairvoyance started to fail a little bit. And I almost feel like, and this is what I'll say, is that if it was introduced as this, if it was almost introduced that the aliens were there in the beginning,
yes,
I kind of would have felt better about it.
Yes, me too.
But because we didn't get introduced to them until episode 14, you know what I mean?
And it was supposed to be like this revelation.
Yeah, it felt like, okay. But it almost makes me feel like, and I know you didn't necessarily like the Lucky Cyan part, but it like I enjoyed the Lucky Cyan. Yeah, but okay. So I enjoyed all of that. But it's like we went from Lucky Cyan to Queen, and like I felt like the action, everything was there. So the vibe was there. It was like we're figuring out more about the power system, and then we get to fear. And fear is like, okay, I'm about to be shook a little bit on this fear. I'm thinking the fear is really gonna impact what I'm thinking about this world. And then I'm not saying it's the black goo, but the black goo being the alien thing and the alien craft, and it's like, okay, so this is about to get tied in. And that is what is genuinely scaring me. I'm like, fucking Big Johnny looks like Anubis. You know what I mean? So are they about to tie it to the pyramids too? Are we about to be talking about pyramids here in a second? And I hate to say that.
His mom did look Egyptian.
I hate to say that. But oh my God, don't do it.
Yeah.
Please don't do it. Please don't do it.
Yeah, it's rough. It's not rough because it's still good. It was still a good episode. We're starting to get into that territory, man. And I hate to repeat the same words over and over again, but it's starting to get into that for the sake of territory. Now that the stories are converging more and more and more. Because why did Ghostblade kill him? What was the reason? What could be the reason? It has to be strong to want to kill a hero that's just retired. He wasn't bothering nobody. So it has to be a valid reason as to why Ghostblade did what he did to this hero. And when Ghostblade talked about it during his section, when he was, doing the move, I gotta kill this, he was doing his inner monologue, it didn't feel tangible.
And I can tell you probably why Ghostblade killed him, right? It was that exact statement that you talk about. This will be the last time that there will be a hero with the power to surpass or be God, right?
Yeah.
Johnny's dad was a healer.
Yeah. But he was retired, though.
He was a retired healer, and he said, "Hey, you want me to heal that for you?" Imagine being X and your power is to heal. What are you doing?
Yeah.
They had to bring somebody like Ghostblade along because they need someone who can basically get rid of anybody.
Yeah.
Ghostblade is like the boxing black dude they sticked on nice.
Yeah.
He is supposed to be their cleanup guy, right? But Ghostblade is going to be the more efficient version of that. Now, and we say that because Ghostblade clearly comes down the line from the boxing dude. Now, having the ability to heal and being X while having the ability to heal means that he could probably have literally gotten to the point where he could have resurrected people. And that's because people could have believed it. You know what I mean? Imagine just having the belief system work that way.
Yeah.
And when he was X, they didn't necessarily have a full understanding of fear yet. So they weren't able to use the fear, because even in this, they're still talking about the crash landing.
Yeah.
They're saying we got to take him back, take Big Johnny back to the lab and get him studied. So it's like he most likely was literally out here healing crowds of people and doing miracles like he was Jesus or God or whatever. You know what I mean?
The black goop is it's steering. It's like steering to be the alien. I just can't. It's just like going there, you know. Like it's so hard to even. Okay. Because they said they were studying it a while. It's just so much. It's just, I'm scared. I love this show and I'm scared. Maybe it could end after the Queen battle and when Lucky Cyan and Queen go to the. Maybe I would consider that my canonical ending. It's all said and done.
He said I'm changing the ending.
If it's bad. If it's bad. All right, moving on. Let's move on because we 16 minutes.
Yeah, we've been here for a minute.
Let's talk about Dress Up Darling and why this is squeezing into my. I don't know how the fuck I'm gonna fit this show into my top 10 because like I love my Dress Up Darling, but I can't see myself eliminating anything in my top 10 to replace it. It's just my top 10 is just that important to me now. But it's so fucking good. And the reason why it's so fucking good because it circumvent all of the atypical usual romance shows that you see in anime. Or the classmates either bullying some guy or they're distancing themselves from the said guy, or the popular girl is unobtainable and you get the bumbling idiocracies it's just so usual in these type of shows. None of that. It's here. It's assumed that you assume that it's there, but it completely advert that. It's just not that. It's the total opposite of judging the book by its cover. It is the totality of judging a book by its cover, because you think these things about these cool Pete kids and you think they're going to judge him for making outfits and you think they're going to, do all this shit, but it just doesn't. They're all just good people. And that is such a refreshing take in this type of genre of anime that I get why it's popular and it's going to continue to get popular because of that.
This show,
it's perfect.
It is. What I like about it, even outside of what you were just talking about, is the consideration. Like, yeah. I love the part where he is like worried about, okay, how am I going to do this and do this, and worried that I gotta try and do this. I don't want to feel like I'm not helping everyone and only focusing on what I normally do. And he walks into the class.
Like, and, what the hell are you doing here?
What are you doing here? And not even like in a dejected manner, like they didn't want him there. They would have loved the help, but I asked him, like, yo, think about it. You don't think you're stretching yourself thin? Do you feel like you might be working a little bit too hard?
I got chills when that happened because I thought it was going to be the opposite. I thought it was going to be the atypical, usual shit that goes on in these kind of shows.
But this show has never done that to us.
But
it literally has, and what's crazy though is that 100%, bro. You were right to think that.
Yeah,
and that's why this show has has always been pleasant, because it literally, it's like you walk into it thinking like, okay, this is what we're here for. We're here for it. Oh no, that's not what we're getting. And we've never gotten it. We should expect that we're not going to get that. You know what I mean? We should be like, oh, we know that this is not going to go. Gojo's going to be cool. No, because of life, we're expecting that. But it's like everyone in the show is such a team oriented, a community oriented, a accepting and forward moving oriented show. It's kind of crazy.
You're lagging a little bit, but why do you think what am I trying to say here? I don't know if Tell's here or not, but I want to say this anyway. I wonder if it's because this show is all about overcoming child trauma. His trauma is that when he was younger, he painted these dolls. And is he back? I think he's back. He painted these dolls, and people talked about him. Like the kids around him talked about him, and that essentially traumatized him. That made him distance himself from people, because this is his shop. This is his hobby. This is what he loves. This is what his grandfather does. This is the shop. He didn't want to give that up, so he gave up people. He gave up social awareness. He gave up social acceptance. Now he's in his new life with this new hobby, with this new circle of people. It's just, oh my God, it's just, I don't even know where I was going with that.
I kind of want to rewatch that first season, because I feel like I might be misremembering it, but I almost want to understand if it was a perspective thing, right? Like if Gojo was actually being made fun of, or if it was like him perceiving it as like a kid doing this. Is this like normal for kids? That kind of thing.
Yeah.
He was getting made fun of?
Yeah, because I think they called it
because I feel like,
if I remember, I could be wrong.
Yeah, at this point that we're in, like I said, the show hasn't, like they haven't revisited an actual scene like that. But because of his past experiences, man, it feels so good to know that it hasn't been that way. But even like I said, like we said before, with the guy who was dressing in cosplay, we haven't received any, like, even that moment just felt so accepting, cool. And everyone in that episode was so accepting and endearing in those moments. Even with him thinking that the guy was hitting on her, that moment, you know what I mean? Like that could have been a moment that was highly like dramatic and dramatized and went overboard, but it was very quickly endearing again. It was like, it almost, these moments of drama that could be overwhelmingly dramatic in other anime, that would be like a high point, right? That would have been a high point in another anime, to have that discourse, to have to diffuse there, right? It almost replaces that moment of almost like exhaustion and frustration with this refreshing sense of like, it's this refreshing sense of like, oh no, but this is the opposite of what you thought it was. It's a contradiction to what we expected.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. This show is a contradiction to what any messy, normal romance type of show is. And I think that's intentional. I think this is just supposed to be a breath of fresh air. It's supposed to just be, you watch it with a smile on your face. And then every single episode, every single minute of this show, I have the biggest smile on my face, because you just love everybody. And I'm loving even the class now. And my favorite part of the entire show is when he finally caught up with Marin-chan, and they were in that shop, and Gojo was beaming with joy because he felt appreciated and welcomed and accepted by his classmates for the first time again since he started distancing himself when he was younger. It was brilliant. It's just brilliant writing, brilliant storytelling. And I'm looking forward to next week only to see how this costume turn out and how everybody reacts to his talent.
I'm looking forward to next week because the show has just been that good regardless.
Straight up. Just big facts. And with that, I'm at Polo Porn Fly on all social media.
I'm at King Telly. I know on all social media.
You can follow all our social medias at youtube.com/@MikeCheckWifeWaifu and youtube.com/@ Respect Games. Make sure you subscribe to both YouTube channels. Leave a review on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you listen to our podcast for both podcasts. And as always, Mike, check.
Peace.
You're now tuned into Mic Check Waifu Waifu. Is that you? Is that you? Is that you? Is that you?